Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night.
Sir, flex I do work. Work 6 of 'em like Mike. He's out of sight. Whoa, you done got me pipe. 2 man like Ike. 6 out the spot.
Into the night.
Yeah, I'm shaking the drop. I'm still up on top. I been had the bop. The devil my op. Can't pay me to stop. My God at the top. We gon' praise our way out the grave, dog. Living, speaking, praise God. Walking out the graveyard, back to life. I serve, follow your word. See with new sight.
Into the night.
Evolution, this is a bunch of baloney, okay? And let's take a look at the facts, okay? In 1859, Darwin actually suggested, I'm not making this up, that whales arose from bears. Yep. And he sketched a scenario in which selective pressures might have caused bears to evolve into whales. Because we all know, you draw a picture of it, it's got to be true. Okay, yeah. But embarrassed, true story, by the criticism, he removed his hypothetical swimming bears from the later editions of The Origin of Species, okay, because they made fun of them. Then, early in the 20th century, this guy, Eberhard Frost and Charles Andrews, suggested that primitive carnivores were the ancestors of whales. So they came from cats, right? Cats. How many guys like cats? All 2 of you, praise God. You're sitting over there. Let's move on. Then later, this guy picked up on it, W.D. Matthew of the American Museum of Natural History, and he says, no. Whales descended from rat-like creatures, okay? But this idea never gained much support. And I can see why. Because especially if you got a basement, you know, sometimes you can get rats down there. You know, if you let it go on too long, you don't call that guy. Next thing you know, you're going to have whales all over the place. It's going to be hard to do laundry, Tom. They're going to hog up the room, and I just hate it when that happens. You know, just ruin a good basement. But anyway, this guy then, next guy, Eberhard Johann Slibscher, whatever, tried to combine the 2 ideas, right? Okay. And he said that whales descended from carnivorous rat-like creatures. So now they're going to bite you when you go down there to do your laundry. So be careful. It's dangerous. And then, I'm not making this up, this is in textbooks today, being taught even on television. That's right, to little crumb snatchers and adults. The current version is that whales evolved from a wolf-like creature. If you can believe this. The point is, obviously, the versions are not only pretty different from each other, they don't agree, once again, but they're pretty wild, okay? But let's take a look at the evidence, okay? First of all, I don't think so. You can make up a story all you want, but you got a major design problem, okay? Whales and dolphins have many unique features designed to enable them to live in water. Let me give you a few of those, okay? For example, they have enormous lung capacity for long dives. They got a powerful tail with a large horizontal fluke, and it's for strong swimming. They have eyes designed to see in water and are able to withstand high pressures. And that's important because how many guys hate it when your eyeballs blow up? Me personally, especially when you're driving. Oh, okay, but anyway. They have ears designed differently from land mammals with eardrums protected just like the eyeballs from the high pressure. They have sweat glands that incorporate fibrous fatty blubber and fins and tongues that have countercurrent heat exchangers to minimize heat loss because it gets cold down there. In fact, they even have nostrils on top of their head of what's called blowholes. Okay? So that's where their nose is, on top of their head. They have specially fitted mouths and nipples so babies can be breastfed underwater, as well as filtering mechanisms for food intake. In fact, they even have a sonar system so precise it can detect a fish the size of a golf ball 230 feet away. That's a pretty complex system that they got, okay? Is what's going on.
This is a depiction of what is known as whale evolution. You start out with a rodent somewhere a long time ago, which eventually evolves into this land-dwelling mammal. Could be like some kind of an anteater, or I don't know what it could be. Whatever this is, some kind of a giant dog. And then it slowly loses its legs. It becomes shorter and shorter until it becomes like adapted to aquatic environment. Starts like, ooh, I think I can swim. I think I want to swim. So why don't we try it? And then that happens and continues. And over long, slow, gradual processes, slowly a whale is formed.
Yeah. So basically, it was like a dog, and then it became some type of otter creature, and it became a manatee, and then the manatee became a whale. But we're never gonna see this happen in the real in real life. But we got some nice cartoons drawing little lines on paper, and bam, science.
Yeah. So think outside of the box here. Let's see. I'm a creationist, and I would say that there's no way that's even possible. Let's consider. Okay. The radiometric date for the whale is around 37 million years old, and the date for the creature on top is well, the whale, 47 million years, and the creature on top is around 30 million. So I'm going to say 10 to 15 million years, you go from a land-dwelling creature to a whale. Let's just say that it happened. But you have the top creature, it's going to be lower in the strata, and the whale will actually be in the upper strata, so that would mean that it's younger. But could it be that the reason that you don't find the whale in the same strata as the land-dwelling rodent, okay, we'll call it, the reason that you wouldn't find them in the same layer of strata is because they don't live in the same area. Again, you don't find a chicken with a human. That doesn't mean one evolved into the other in no way, shape, or form. A freshman lawyer would be able to tear this apart very easily. If you try to bring this into the courtroom and say that the Elomerics, is what they're calling it, evolved into the Arteriodactyl whale. That's some weird names that they're giving them.
How do they get on top of mountains, bro? Like, have you heard that about them finding whale skeletons on top of like mountains?
Yeah, you find a whale on a mountain and conclude that a flood didn't happen. I mean, what?
Yeah, how do you know how they explain that away? I forget. Like, how do they explain that away?
Yeah. Well, they would say that, you know, the oceans were collecting the bones of the whales and fossilizing them, even though it never happens today. A whale is never fossilized, ever. Stands no chance of being fossilized. No creature does. Just microorganisms alone will eat away the bone within a single year. It'll be totally gone. You can do that with a chicken bone in your front lawn. Throw it out there and see if you see it again next year. After the summer and the winter has taken its course, show me a chicken bone after 1 year. You're full of it. And you're definitely not going to show me one after 20 years or, I mean, the point is, fossilization is a rare event. And if you have this rare event and there's like a catastrophe, some kind of ancient mudslide 47 million years ago covers the animal, well, then millions of years go by and the ocean floor slowly begins to rise through plate tectonics. And that's how we have a whale on the top of the mountain. The problem with that is that you have to involve deep time and millions of years in order to make this process happen. You know, you need to be able to show how this could happen like now in a laboratory, since science is what we can test, observe, and demonstrate, you know. Show me how that can happen today. Show me how you can, a practical way to form a mountain, you know, without using millions of years and deep time. Very hard to do for the evolutionist, very easy for a creationist who would simply say that there was a global flood. That's the easiest way to explain it. But you have an animal that lives on the land that's lower in the strata than the whale. Okay, and that's going to be higher in the strata. But again, like you said, we find whales on mountains, and you don't get any higher than a mountain. So it's basically, you know, there's not any higher. So you're not going to be able to find the animal that you see on top. You know, when you go to a mountain that has a whale in it, the top layer of strata where this, or the lower layers of strata, I guess. No, they would still be there. Well, how was that mountain formed?
Oh, we got Jamie Russell in the chat, bro.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Click the link, Jamie Russell.
Jamie, I'm not sure who that is.
Jamie Russell.
50 whales preserved in a small area.
Jamie Russell. You don't know Jamie Russell, bro? He's Seventh-day Adventist. He goes on a lot of the streams too.
Nice.
He also has a channel. He does live streams a lot. If you ever want to join his channel, Jamie Russell.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not a geocentrist, I don't think, but he is a young earther. So big shout out to my young earth brothers.
Yeah, shout out Jamie. Also, clams on Mount Everest in the closed position, which means they had to be buried rapidly. Now, oh, there we go, Jamie. He's in.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Jamie?
Hey, Jamie, how's it going?
Yeah, the bones, the whales, man. Like, if you think about it too, erosion rates are like would take that stuff out a long time ago because, like, the mountains are uplifting, so they're being eroded every year, and so to have whales exist as fossils, well. Like, did the mountains not uplift for millions and millions of years and not erode too? That doesn't make any sense. The fact that the geologic column even exists with erosion rates that we measure today is impossible.
Yeah, that's really true. That's something. So then, with all the erosion and the contamination problem that exists in radiometric dating, I don't see how it can be trusted if all that erosion has taken place to erase all of that potassium and argon and uranium and move it somewhere else. That seems kind of far-fetched.
think about it. If you take like the lowest measurable rates of erosion that happen like in the least erosion areas, like on like essentially stone that gets little rainfall and weathering is like I think it's like a millimeter per 1,000 years would still erode at that rate, like 1 millimeter per 1,000 years. And when you multiply that by another 1,000 is just 1 million years. So that's 1,000 millimeters. So that's like many feet. What is that? That's like I want to say that's like.
Let me share my screen again real quick.
Like a million years would be like a couple feet at least. So you get times up by another 100. It's like it doesn't make sense, and that's clearly not what would happen in most places. And so, it makes no sense. There shouldn't be. They say the mountains, aren't higher because they erode as they rise. But to have any fossils on this near the surface of a mountain makes no sense. They don't even talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to say it's like Argentina, just offshore of Argentina. There's like a site that's fairly small, and has like 50 non-disarticulated whales fossilized, like in most part. Like there's whole ones, no scavengers at all, picked at the bones. It's crazy. What buries a whale in a desert?
I'm just gonna skim through them all real quick. But yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. Same with the clams. They got the clams as big as like washing machines on top of the mountains.
I saw your channel because I think you subscribed to my channel actually. So I was like just checking out. I saw like that your channel was subscribed to my channel. So and then I clicked on this channel and then it came up. So
wicked. Yeah, I don't know. It's the first time I'm hearing of Jamie Russell, but it's good to see you.
Where did I meet you at, Christopher Sylvius? You remember? Like, was it on
probably
LPC's
SFT?
channel?
Yeah, that's where I've seen you. Yeah, that must be where I've seen you too before because I recognize the name.
Do you ever go on Logical Plausibles Probable streams? Because I think they usually have more open streams over there.
He hasn't streamed in like 4 weeks, like a month.
Yeah, he hasn't been on. He's probably working. I emailed him a week ago. I don't think he emailed back.
So he goes on vacations and then does live streams with this time off.
Yeah, I don't know. He just disappears for a while sometimes. I think he just runs out of stuff to do and talk about. He's probably working. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I think it's Bones and Stones by Walter Veith, like from Amazing Discoveries. He has a presentation where he talks about in fact, I think I might have streamed part of it the other day, actually, believe it or not. But just check it out sometime. It's interesting. He talks about a bunch of stuff like that. But he shows like a diagram of those whales, like how they recorded it. There's like 50 of them within like so many kilometers or whatever, just off the shore of like, I want to say the western shore of South America. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, that takes like, I think it's on, let's see. Yeah, there's some of my favorite presentations from Young Earth Creationist PhDs on my channel my favorite ones, but I mean, they're not my videos. I was just playing them. So yeah, that's a cool one. Some of them have the baleen teeth, or their filters in their mouth is totally intact as well, which is crazy.
Now I want to watch it, bro. What'd you say it was called? Can I look it up?
On my thing, I think it's just be something about evidence for Young Earth creationism, and it's a somewhat recent video. I've been playing like stuff on Waco just for fun lately, but you have to go.
You said it's called Bones and Stones by who?
Yeah, you can just look it up on just type in Bones and Stones on Walter Veith or whatever, or look at
Walter Beef?
Veith, yeah, Veith. You know who he is.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, you've brought him up to me.
I don't know who he is, bro. It's somebody else.
I thought you did.
Walter what?
Yeah, Veith.
Veit.
Yeah, he was an atheist. If you look up his testimony, it's just Walter Veith testimony. It's really freaking interesting. Like, excuse my language. He just like he gives a testimony to how he became a Christian. He was an atheist, and his wife was like had like a really like her parents were like new age ghost hunters or something, and like all sorts of weird stuff, and like crazy stuff like demon possession happened to his kid when his stepdad. Yeah, it's crazy. Check it out.
Well, I'm kind of interested in.
Yeah, that's that third one over. It looks like the picture from that video too, Bites video. Yeah,
I'm gonna just see if I find the video. And then
it's like a series or whatever. But sorry, I didn't mean to like interrupt your thing, man.
Now I was almost, I don't know how much you got left on your presentation, bro. Walter. Let's see. Stone in the Whole Truth, both in stones. There we go. I think that's it.
And weird and very.
I don't think I ever seen them before.
It's like a series, so maybe Bones and Stones is like the actual series name. I can't remember, so I'd have to check. But anyway. That's actually my favorite argument, though. The erosion rates and uplift rates, like you can't really get away from it. If the present is the key to the past, then that totally undermines that whole idea, because even if you take the slowest rates of erosion, like it would have cycled through the whole geologic column on the Earth like 100 times, and they don't even really address it in the literature. Like they just kind of pretend like it's not nothing,
Yeah, that's how they get you. Because they just don't tell you shit.
Yeah, and people think it's all figured out, like because they like teach a thing, and it's like, no, dude, a lot of that is just like, it's just a model. And even like the paleontologists or the archaeologists and stuff, like the ones that like are honest about it, they know it's not like all figured out. It's just like a working hypothesis, and there's many issues with just it being like this. It's acknowledged if you look deep in the literature, they'll admit it. Not that it means it's false because of that, but just that it's not. People get this idea like it's gospel because it was in a peer-reviewed paper, which is nonsense. I guess like there's another cool video from Veritasium where he talks about is published literature wrong, and it is, like, just from a statistical analysis, it's not. That doesn't mean it's true because it's peer reviewed.